You know, Edwards was talking about the Miracle on Ice, which is the greatest moment in American sports history, certainly not in Russia's. But
Yet.
You call that game, and it's such an incredible moment. But you told the story, and the story behind the game might even be more amazing than the game itself.
Yeah, well, I mean, that game started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was over at about 7:15 on a Friday. But there was a second game, and Sweden was meeting Finland in what would amount to be the other semifinal game. And in those years, Rune Arledge was my boss and one of the iconic figures in the business. But he was always worried that we'd have a mechanical failure, a technical issue, a tape machine would break. So the game, the U.S.-Soviet game, is being tape delayed, and now at 8 o'clock they start the tape. But Rune was always worried that there would be an issue. So Ken Dryden and I, who were doing the game, the former Canadian goalie, we're doing Sweden-Finland for the next 2.5 hours. America's watching the U.S. beat the Soviets, going crazy, and we're doing the entire Sweden-Finland game.
It's quite a comeback.
I was exhausted. I was alternately, exhausted and exhilarated walking back to the hotel that night. It was crazy.
Well, this book is...
Was there ever a game of all the time? Because you call the games, you have to be somewhat impartial, right? I mean, impartiality is kind of the nature of it, but was there any time more than the U.S.-Russia game that was that the most authentically excited you ever got, or was there ever any game that you lost your impartiality in?
It's a great point. It's the one game I could do. I can't, in the Super Bowl or whatever, people are thinking you're rooting one way or another. I'm not. I'm rooting for high drama. That's the one game where you knew that 99.9% of your audience was going with you.
And the other ones were
when I said that, I mean, it was the emotion and the 9-year-old boy in me coming out. It's the one time I could do it. So, there's no other chance to do that. I mean, the 1/10 of 1%.
Anytime an event in sports just overtook you, it was so exciting you couldn't be.
Well, that came close, but I've learned, the hotter it gets, the cooler you have to say, because if you try to top the game, it just sounds
You sound like a South American
There
announcer
you go.
saying, goal, goal.
Yeah, right. And when you say the hotter it gets, the cooler you have to say, you mean that sexually as well? Well, you can read all
Linda
about...
Michaels is sitting back. We've been married 48
I'll ask
years.
her then.
Ask her later.
The book is called You Can't Make This Up. You should buy it. Al Michaels, the Super Bowl, Sunday, February 1st on NBC.